Thanks for tuning in to this video for WOUB's Digital Learning Day. The following video will have information about getting started with green screen in your classroom.
Hi, my name is Shannon Williams, and I'm a music teacher at the Plains Elementary and also a PhD student at Ohio University studying instructional technology. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what green screening is and how you can use it in your classroom. Let's start by talking about what green screening is. Green screening is a video technique used to eliminate the background, the real world, from your video and replace it with something else, either a still image or a moving image. So for example, in the setup that I have right here, if I was using a green screening app or program, all of this green would disappear and be replaced by another image. Green screening does require some accessories. For example, in my classroom, I have a couple of screens. This is a great screen because it's collapsible and portable. It doesn't take up as much room in the classroom, and you can move it all around the room depending on the activity without a lot of effort or confusion. Perhaps you're outside and wanting to do some green screen and there's green grass all around you and you don't want the grass to disappear, then you would use a blue screen. Then I've also got another screen up here. This one is on poles. I do find it a little more awkward, a little more fragile. The students bump into it a little easier, but it does give me more height and sometimes more width because the other portable screen isn't quite big enough to fit more than 2 students in front of. So if I'm doing a bigger project, sometimes I'll even turn this sheet sideways to get more width if the students aren't too tall, or if I have a taller student, this allows it to go up overhead. It all just depends on the project that you're doing. You could go as simple as just getting some bulletin board paper and taping it up to the wall, and that's what I did in my first few projects. The other thing I've done over the years is collect some objects, some things from places like the dollar store, just green buckets. Makes for a really fun prop that you can make things disappear because this is all invisible, and you could fill it with apples, for example, and then you could pull the apples out and they would appear out of nowhere because they're invisible as long as they're in the bucket. I also made a puppet theater. I did this with, again, materials from the dollar store and just covered it with green paper, and I got green painter's tape. And then I made puppets and put them on green sticks. So when you put it behind or put it in front of the puppet theater, the green stick disappears, but the character remains. And then this gets replaced with a backdrop to help tell the story of the Nutcracker. Recently, we did a project where the students were playing piano, and I wanted them to appear as if they weren't reading the music. So we put the music on this side, but what the camera sees is this side. So they get to have the music in front of them, but nobody can see it. When I used this table in one of our projects, I covered it with this sheet, and the table disappeared. If you're wanting your student to disappear and maybe just their face shows, cover them all in green. If they're wearing green clothes, everything disappears except for their face. Besides your backdrop, the other things that you'll need are a camera, which could be a standalone camera like a DSLR or a point and shoot, something that records video. You could use your phone, you can use a camera built into a tablet. You also could probably use the camera built into a laptop, although that won't give you as much flexibility with positioning. So I don't recommend it, but if you don't have any other camera at all and you really want to try green screening, it's better than nothing. So give it a try and see how far you can get with it and decide if you want to invest a little further in some other equipment. So after your camera, you're going to need a device to put the video onto. That again can be a tablet or a Chromebook, a Mac, a PC, anything that can do some video processing that has software available to it. There are 3 software programs that I recommend. iMovie or WeVideo are very comparable, same type of thing but for different systems, and then Do Ink, and I will go into more detail about how to use those exactly. There are a lot of other apps on the market, but those are the ones that I found to be the most recommended across the web, and in my experience they have been the easiest for myself to use and for my students to use. Before getting started with any green screening project, it's really important to work your students through the planning process. They should start with a script, then move on to choosing backgrounds, finding props, rehearsing, and then finally recording. If you let your students loose in front of the green screen without any prior preparation, it's probably not going to end up pretty. So it's best to get them ready before they get in front of the camera. You may also want to pick up some props like I showed you here. Costumes are also fun. So while you've got the green screen and perhaps they are underwater, you could get out some flippers and some goggles or small props like that that help to tell the story. And then finally, after all of your physical things are collected, you'll want to start downloading some pictures or having your students get pictures that can be used for those backdrops. Digital images, still images are the easiest, but there's also video out there that's been designed and created for green screening. I have a link to that later on in the presentation that you could check out, but you'll want to find something that helps tell the story to put in the background to fill in all of this green space. So other than that, I think we're ready to get started, and I'll try and give you a quick rundown of how to use some of these apps and where you can find more information to start your green screen projects.
Use this code to get credit for your Digital Learning Day experience. You'll find this page in the attached slideshow presentation. It's full of lesson idea links and other resources that you can use to help you get ready to use green screen in your classroom. And now I'll take just a few minutes to demonstrate my recommendations for green screening software. The first recommended app is WeVideo. WeVideo is an online video editor that works on Macs, PCs, and even Chromebooks. It's a subscription-based service with a variety of plans. There is a free version, but it has many limitations and can be quite frustrating to use. However, I highly recommend the paid subscription if you have the funding. Not only does the program work well, you and your students also gain access to a very impressive library of stock media, including video, audio, and still images. There is also a companion iPad app that is very handy for capturing video and uploading for editing on a Chromebook or another computer. There are 3 steps to follow when using the online version of WeVideo to do green screen. The first step is to insert your green screen video, which can typically be found under the My Media tab. So I have a sample here that I created, and I'm going to put that in the topmost layer, and this one, video 2. You'll notice in my sample, I demonstrate how if I cover myself up with a sheet, I'll disappear in the video. Step 2 is to insert the background video. So WeVideo has a great collection of stock video. So I'm going to go to their stock media tab, and I'm going to choose fireworks. And this clip isn't quite long enough for my video, so I'm just going to copy and paste it several times over to fill it all the way in. And then the last step, step 3, is to key out the green color. So select your video, then click the Edit tab. Choose the eyedropper tool and click on the color you want to eliminate. And go back and preview your video. So you'll see at the start of my video, I'm in the frame. But then later in the video, I cover myself up with a sheet and I will disappear also. WeVideo makes it really easy to do green screen projects, so I hope you'll give it a try and have fun with it. The next app I'll demonstrate is iMovie. This is the computer version like you would use on a laptop or desktop. It only works on a Mac, but it is probably one of the most recognized entry-level video editing programs. It has served as a standard for most other entry-level video editing software available today. It's very similar to WeVideo, except it doesn't have a library of stock video. Unlike WeVideo, iMovie is a free download if you have a Mac computer. There are 4 steps to follow when doing green screen in iMovie on a computer. The first step is to insert your background image into the timeline. You can use a still image or video. Step 2 is to insert the green screen video into the timeline directly over the background clip. In this case, my green screen video is a lot longer than my background clip, so I'm going to zoom out so that I can stretch this clip out to match the length of my video. Step 3 is to edit the green screen video by selecting it and then choosing the drop-down video and choosing green blue screen. The final step is to adjust the size or click the cleanup button. We're going to get rid of some of these shadows and weird lighting effects by clicking the cleanup button and then clicking over where you see the shadows, and it rebalances the lighting. However, in my video clip, I have different lighting in a different section. My white or gray sweatshirt is kind of throwing the color balance off a little bit. So in this part, it looks grayer. So I'm going to go just about to the end of that, and I'm going to put a slice in the video here and adjust this part of the video specific to that color situation. So with that selected and the green screening button clicked, I now have access to my cleanup tool. So we're going to click there and click in here where some of those shadows were at, and that should balance it out a little bit better. Yep, that kept it more even. That's how you use iMovie to do green screen. If you have an iPad, you can also create green screen videos using the mobile version of iMovie, which is also a free download. Here's a brief demonstration of the 4 basic steps to create a green screen video. To create a green screen video using an iPad, start a new project and select Movie, then select your background clip first. Adjust the length if you need to, and then get ready to insert your green screen video. Select the video, and then click the 3 dots to the side and choose Green Blue Screen. If both clips are the same length, then you can just go in and adjust the image quality of your green screen video. Notice the shadows that are in there. We're going to eliminate those by selecting the video and then choosing the strength button on top in the image. Adjust it until you get the desired effect. It won't always be perfect, but it will be close. Just do it until you're satisfied with the image. A lot of it depends on the lighting in the room and the green screen that you're using, and whether or not it's wrinkled or layering over and catching the light in a different way. After that, you can export your video and save it to your camera roll and use it in any project that you were working on. The final app demonstration will be using DoInk on an iPad. DoInk is a very kid-friendly green screen app, making it my first choice for younger students. This is not a free app, but the price is well worth it. There is also a companion app that allows users to insert pre-made and user-created animations that's also pretty cool. You can find both of these apps in the App Store on your iPad. There are just a few steps to using DoInk to create green screen video. DoInk is a great app if you want to do a live green screen demonstration for your students and let them try green screen out in the moment and see the effects live. So I'm demonstrating here with a little live scenario setup. And we're going to start by opening up the app and then clicking New Project with the plus button up here in the corner, New Project. And we're going to start by adding in the middle layer the background image, and you want to put that in the middle so it'll be underneath your green screen video. We're going to choose Photos to get a still image. You could also insert video. And now we're going to add our green screen image in. When I open up, it's going to default to a picture of me, but I'll just flip that around once I get it open. So we're going to choose the camera to get the live green screen effect. And then we're going to click Done and go to the camera flip button. And now we're back on here. Once you're into this part, you can adjust it. A couple of things you can change. With the image selected with the yellow bar around the camera, we can pinch and zoom the size of that image. If you want to zoom in more or zoom out, you can also move it around. If you select the bottom image, you can change the size of that image. Maybe have a picture-in-picture effect or flip it around and spin it, whatever you want to do. The other thing you might want to adjust is the saturation or the lighting effect. You can see that there are some shadows here. So I'm going to click this circle color button, and that allows me to adjust the sensitivity. We're selected right now on the background image, and that image was fine. So let's go back and adjust saturation on the green screen image. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of shadows here. The more checkered background you have, the better the green screen effect. So we're just going to turn the intensity up a little. You have to be careful. The more you turn it up, you start to eliminate all the colors in your image. So we're going to adjust that just a little bit. And then you can also change the color that it's eliminating to better match your green screen background. Just try to balance those two things out. And it looks like we've got a more pure green screen effect. So click done and you can check your work. And it does look better than it did before. I'm going to zoom out on this guy just a little bit. There we go. With this app, again, this is really good for doing a live experience in green screen. If you want to record it, though, you can just hit the record button up here and you can either take a still image or record a video. And you'll be on your way to making some fun green screen projects. If you have any questions, you can reach me at danner@3rings.com, or you can check out my webpage at dannersplace.com. You can get a copy of the show notes with the links to additional resources at the link found on this screen. Thank you for watching and good luck with your future green screen projects.